That's Philadelphia. What's going on there? That says New York there. But that can't be it. Can it? That can't be it. They've got this map wrong. That's Boston there, look. So that's not it. What's going on with this? Manhattan, Times Square, right, that's it. That's it. This is it. It's not as big as you think it is. In a way, it's quite big. £156 a night, look, in these posh rooms. But that's what I'm said would probably end up spending, so I'm alright with that. This one, though, what's going on here? £1,000. The Ritz-Carlton. Is that the big... I wonder if it is nice, though, because... I mean, for £1,000, it fucking better had be, but you won't be able to afford to stay there very long, so you won't get much benefit for the money. I do notice as you get close to the park, where you're going to get the views, they look more expensive. I thought you might get a lot of hotels, and I'm surprised you don't. Like, in these buildings around here, on the sides, I thought you'd get a lot of hotels, like, up and down the sides of the park, so everyone can have a view of the park. But it's not like that, is it? You know, what's going on all up here? Where's all the hotels? Little views of the park. I want to be in a hotel, and I want to look out the window and see all that park. Maybe you have to start at the other end. There's another one, a hotel at Hotel Central Park North. Maybe that's the one, because it looks cheaper up this end, doesn't it? £103. Knowing me, I'll get a room, and it'll be around the fucking backside with the corner, and I'll just see the other side of the New Ebony Hotel instead. Park views. I want to wake up, I want to do the curtains, look out on the park, smoke a reefer, smoke it out the window, looking at the park like that. Like I'm in New York, banging. This is the life, you know. And then I only get to do that for a day, and then that's it, you go home. But I don't want to be in New York, spend like £1,000 to get there, like £300 staying there and not see the park. Do you know what I mean? It just feels like it would be well wrong to spend all that money, and when I get up in the morning and open the window, I can see the access chute and where the bins are. Like that would just seem like I've spent loads of money to come and look at the bins. That doesn't seem right. So I want to be there in this row here, looking out. So there's the plaza. That sounds nice. £700. You fucking shitting me? Who's paying £700 a night? What'd you get? I suppose a really big room. I suppose you get a really big room. Let's have a look. The plaza. The plaza. Ooh, the plaza. How do you even check? What is this? The internet's supposed to be doing it for me, and it's not doing it. Poor John Lennon. Is that where he got shot? He got shot like I got shot, but he ain't fucking breathing. You think they'd have their own website? At this money, you think they'd have their own website? And bear in mind, right, you do all this and then you have to double it because you want to take someone else with you, and you want to, if you're saying to someone, you're coming with me to work, then I'm going to pay for your travel sort of thing. So it gets quite expensive sometimes, but I wouldn't like, if me and Steve were doing this together, or me and XYZ person were travelling to, I took a camera person, then I'm spending the money to pay for them to stay in the plaza as well if I'm staying there. So you have to factor it all in. Need to find a sexy camera person that we can all just have one room together. Right, what are we doing? Hotels, free cancellation, £1,000. Fucking hell. £1,000. This is the wrong one. I'm just going around the websites now. I've already seen this. I want to see the inside of the rooms, please. Here we go. Here we go. That's what. Oh, it's like it's bigger than my house. So that's what you're getting, isn't it? Well, you're only in there for one day, but like, what are you going to do with all the rooms? Why do you need a wardrobe? Like, you're not going to be keeping all your clothes there, are you? What's this? Is that in your room? I bet it's not in your room. I bet that's like a communal area. Some sort of salon. It's like where you get your dinner. Probably won't be like. You probably don't spend your time in the hotel sitting around, do you? What's that? That'll be some sort of spa thing. Or it might be a prostitute shop. That might be where you do the... That's a gym. It looks pokey. I wouldn't go in I suppose some people really into their gym shit. They need to... Oh, I'm on holiday, but I haven't got all my gym shit. So, like, I want to go to a gym. Oh, there's one in the hotel. This is brilliant. I remember when I was a kid, we would go to hotels sometimes. My dad would take us some places where they might have like a weird adult swimming pool and gym downstairs. Not kids playing the pool, but like an adult pool underground with like a gym and some facilities and maybe a sauna or something. And like I would hate those. I'd like look at them at night, like you're running around the hotel as a kid, like going places you're not supposed to, and it'd be dark, no one's in there, and it'd be dark, and like you'd look at it and you think, oh, this looks creepy. If I'm on holiday, there's no fucking way I want to go in the gym, but for some people it might be worth it. Oh, look at this. And the thing is, if you're there, yeah, you can go and sit at that bar as proud as you like and say, pint of lager, please, mate. And you go, we don't do pints of lager. And I say, well, I don't drink them either. I'm not an alcoholic, but irrelevant. The point is, I could sit here like all the other people and fuck you. And he'd say, you don't need to be so aggressive. I mean, but you know what I mean? You'd be like, wow, I'm in the Posh bar. Sip a Manhattan. There you go. That's what I'm paying the money for, though. Wake up in the morning, do the curtains, nice. Chill out in the room, drink a coffee. No one's hassling me. I'm not on the streets, but I've got all of New York in, like, taking it in by, like, that's the view the millionaires get when they get their penthouses. Live like a millionaire for a short while, but for a bit. I just really enjoy it. And then that day, then we go and do our stuff. When we come back, same thing. I'll probably want to take some chips. That's American for crisps. Or like some bits and pieces up to the room and smoke a reefer and look out across America like that and be like, this is cool. Like that's what you're paying for. Is that your room? Is this a lounge within the hotel, or is that your room? Do people get pianos in their rooms? What do you think? I don't know. I'm confused by that one. I wonder if people have pianos in their rooms. What's happening now? Oh, no, I want the pictures. 198 pictures, so there's quite a lot to get through. So, it's going to be a while. Look at these rooms. Look at this. Once when we were in America, right, I got paranoid because I smoked a really big bowl of dabs. Me and Matt were in America doing the Eddie Strongman filming, and we had motel rooms, and my door opened out, and when you opened it, was like a very thin door. I could have kicked it in, and if I had kicked it in, then there would be America. Anyone on the street could just walk up and just kick my door in, and then they're in. So I didn't like it. I got a bit eggy and scared. And not every night, but this one night when I'd had this really big bowl of dabs by accident, I had to find. I wasn't smoking weed the whole time. I was stressing about it because I didn't know anyone. And I had to ask people, do you know you got any weed? You got any weed? And like nobody, they were all like fitness people, so they weren't into it. So after we'd done like 2 days of filming, and we were only there for like 3 or 4 days, I can't remember, we were there for 2 or 3 days. Anyway, we did and I was like, look, Matt said, do you want to go see if we can get any weed? Like, we'll go a little drive around. And I was like, yeah, go on. Or I might have pestered him. I might have said, drive me around and let me... Anyway, we went on university campus, and I jumped out, and I was like, you all right, mate, how's it going? I'm from England, I'm not going to try and attack you. Do you know anywhere I get any weed? And they were like, oh yeah, no problem, we're at university, and everyone smokes weed in America. So they took me to this student house, and we went in, and there were some students, and like one of them was like behind the counter with the weapon, like eggy and scared in case, like, dodgy kickoff. But it wasn't dodgy kickoff, there was just me and 2 mates, and them and their mates, and like we did a small drug deal. And they were like, do you want the weed? And I was like, I want the weed, like the herb, like the weed. And they were like, don't you want the wax? And I was like, not really, no, I want the weed. And they were like, but the wax is better. I said, I don't think it is, mate, because I'm from England, I didn't know. So in America at the time, they're making it into this special wax. It's just the pure stuff. The weed's got all the weed in it, but the wax is like the pure stuff. So they were like, no, honestly, it's really good. And they said, what I'll do is, I said, I'll buy a bit of both, yeah? Knock me up one of those bongs as well, though. doing my deal, yeah. So I got my weed, paid for that, and I said I'll have some of the wax. But are you the only one here? Just sometimes these chats are very quiet. This is a very quiet stream, and it's way past midnight now, so you might be. Do you want me to check how many? I don't keep an eye on it. No, we've got 6 other viewers with you, so don't worry. You're not the only one here. And these are recording. We're recording as well. Nigel's here. Look, and I will cut this and put it up on YouTube somewhere sometimes. Maybe not this particular story. You never know. Might end up on a clips channel sometimes. Other people might clip it for me if they fancy it. Anyway, so I'm in America. I'm in there doing the drug deal in the student house. They're nice enough lads, student lads. And one of them is obviously a bit, keeping watch and all this. A bit on edge. And I said, I do my deal. I said, load me up one of those bongs then. And they were like, this is dabs though. It's not like your normal. And I was like, oh, fucking don't be stupid. I'm from England. And in England, we invented smoking weed. So fuck you, America. I wasn't that rude, but I was a bit like this. I was a bit bullshit. I was like, you don't know, I'm like, you're just students. I'm big Scotty Hottie. Load me up one of those things. And they did. And they only put a little. And I was like, don't be silly. Don't put like a silly little bit. Like, I'm from England. Don't put a silly little bit. Put like, enough. And they were like, but these are dabs you don't understand. And I was like, oh, yeah, okay. Anyway, they put this thing on. And they had to do it with the blowtorch and stuff. And it was all metal and like this pipe thing. I'd never seen it in my life. So I did a big hit of it. What's dabs? Dabs is in America. In America, it's like they've taken the pure tetrahydrocannabinol from the cannabis. They press it out of the cannabis, and it's just pure THC. So the active ingredient, purest form. And so they do it on these funny bongs like this, these funny pipes with bits of metal, purely just smoke. You're not burning a load of tobacco or anything like that. Like you're just burning this purely the dabs, like this wax and it's on this rig. Look, they did it with a blowtorch like this. And so I thought they were pissing about, like when you've got like an exotic bong, but really you're just smoking bog standard hash. I thought this was like a form of hash, but it's actually refined. It's the refined wax. Yeah, so it's like strong stuff, super strong. So I got them to do it. I loaded up the thing. I took a great big hit. Like I deliberately tried to prove a point to them that British people can. And like great big hit. I took it, and then from then on, the evening started to get away from me. Like immediately, I was high as fuck. Like high as fuck. I coughed it all up. Did all that, and there was a bit of laughter, and it's funny, isn't it? I was like, it is funny in a way. Like, here's the money, but I couldn't explain how funny it was, or here's the money, because I couldn't stop coughing. And then like we sort of left, and they were like, cheers, and I was like, cheers, and like I managed to get out of there, but already I'd started to get like really fucking high, and I think it was because that guy was behind that counter in a way. It started to set me paranoid. Because like, I felt like this guy was watching me, like, and I felt like, because he didn't know who these unknown people were coming in his flat. So I thought in America they've all got guns, and so like I was this guy, and and then I'm in the car, and then we're driving, and I'm like, it's like I'm in a spaceship, and I'm really, really, really high, like I'm in a spaceship, and like I couldn't explain it. Like they were saying, well, so what are the dabs like? Are they good? And I was like, yeah, this is like more high than I've ever been in my life. I couldn't get my words out. I was like really high on, like more high than I've ever been on weed ever. And that's not ideal if you then go back to the motel and you're like, well, we've had a good night, let's smoke a little bit of weed, and then you're probably going to go to bed because we're going to do some filming tomorrow. And I was like, yeah, but I'm more stoned than I'm more high. I couldn't just lie there in that room and like with the door to America. I didn't like it. I was like, out there, they've all got guns, and I'm in this room on my own, and I can't sleep because I'm really high. So I had to knock on Matt's door. And this gets us back to here. I had to knock on Matt's door and say, listen, I'm really fucking high and I don't like it, so can I come and stay in the room with you? And he's like, well, not really, what? And and so they had a chair like this. They had a chair like this, but not as posh as this little motel. And so I slept on the chair like that, like sat like that, like just in the same room as someone else, so that I didn't feel as paranoid. Couldn't sleep on my own in that room, couldn't get to sleep, but it was only because I'd taken this huge hit of these dabs. So yeah, that was an experience and a half. And then for the rest of we were only there for 2 more days or whatever, and I had this fucking explosively strong weed and dabs to smoke, and like, you know, what was I going to do before I left as well? Before I went for the final, you know, get the taxi to the airport sort of thing, I got more high than I'd ever need to, like when in the airport, because I had to smoke it all. And like went in the airport like fucking battered. Thought I'd lost the bag. Where's the bag? I can't find the bag. Oh no, we checked it in. Like one of those. These are the good times, you know. These are the good times. So yeah, we get a room like this in America, or like this. And this room, look, it's got a trophy. For if you're really good at the sex, then you've got a trophy in this room. If you're really good at the sex, they award you the trophy at the end. I'm assuming these get used, don't they, for the old sex? I'm assuming for that money. I mean, look at it. Oh, it's lovely, isn't it? I'll tell you what's nice about this. What I really like about this is that in New York, I need to move it up a bit as well, don't I, for you? What am I moving now? Just this, please. In New York, you've got everything's packed in. So I imagine you're not going to get your own little private garden. But having that plaza outside like that, and me, you know, like saying about hanging out, smoking a bit, I can imagine going out for a nice dinner and then coming back and just sitting there for a few hours and letting the life pass you by in New York and not feeling completely threatened by all the gun violence by the nice hotel in the plaza. And then if you want, you can just go in your hotel. You know, I think that would be quite nice, wouldn't it? All lit up and safe, no gun violence. Your ex was always smoking pot and it put you off. I tell you what, I do want to move to the inhaler, the vaporizer thing. Much less smell and much less badness to it. Just got to be more strict with myself and use it more. I need to order a new one. Because I've got a big one that you plug in at the wall, but I need a portable one. But yeah. Look at this. You think that doesn't affect tourists? I'd be too on edge about it. Like, it depends where you live and where you're at. You know, if I was in some, you know, dicey area, like I wouldn't like it. I'd be a bit scared. You wanted to try coke, you wouldn't let you. Good. Yeah. Certain things are not worth the mess. Well, this is just like this is an Art Deco room. That's a coconut with their branding on it. That's caviar. I don't need to see caviar. I know what caviar is. I want to see the inside. Ooh. Having a posh read of the paper. Is this like a private dining area? That's the Gatsby room again. This is a more formal meeting room. They're having fun at a small bar. I'm really confused. This looks like it could be a room, or I mean, is that your room? Are you getting? Is this what £700 buys you? Is like a 2-floor room? Like, where's the bed? Like, are you getting a lounge as well? Is this what they call a suite? Is that what they call a suite? I bet there's some dodgy stuff that's gone down in that hotel. I should Google it. Maybe I should. Look at that. Do you get stairs? For this money, do you get stairs? Is that what we're talking about? Because, like, for £750, if I open my door for my room and I see this, I'm like, where's my bed? Like, what's going on? And the other thing I can't understand is, how do I use this room? Because usually you dump your bags in there, you get changed, you have a bit of a wash, and then you're out and seeing New York. Like, it seems less likely that I'd want to spend my time sat on my sofa in my room, but maybe I would. I don't know. £750. Georgian mirror. I don't like that artwork. That seems a bit drab. £750, mate. Can you change the artwork? Just black squares. I'm paying a lot of money for this. There's a piano. I'm starting to think these are the rooms. I'm starting to think these are like suites. It's New York. My dog's kicking off. I'm gonna have to see what my dog's kicking off about. What are you kicking off for? Stop kicking off. Now stop it. Hey. Hey. I'm a bad dog owner. I'm a good dog owner, really, but I'll just let him out the back, and he's just out the back now. So if he wants to come in, I'm going to have to go and open the door again. Until then, he's out the back. It's a bit of a shame for him. This looks insane. If that's one room and you're paying for that, that's too much. This must be the lobby or some shit. I can't get my head around it. There's no way you have that as a one room, is there? And you're getting like several different seating areas. Like, what would you do with them? Why? These must be rooms within the hotel. This could be the suite, the Gatsby suite. I'm imagining that's called the Gatsby suite. And if you like your Art Deco and everything feeling like it's closing in on you, then you go there. I don't like that. None of these real... Oh, look. Royal Plaza suite. Okay, these are the suites. So you do get this. It's insane. Are you telling me this must be their dining room? There's no way this is one like part of your suite. But that is part of your suite. That's the gym. Fuck the gym. That's not part of the hotel experience, but I suppose you've got to go and see that while you're there, haven't you? Things like that, I have no desire to go and look at that in the real life. Take a fucking day out to go and look at it, and then I've seen it, and there it is. No desire at all. It's a modern man-made statue. It's just like, yeah, I've seen a statue. But there's other things like the view of the park, priceless, definitely want to include it. Can't not, what's the point going all the way there and not getting that? That must be the Empire State Building. Again, I've got no desire to be on top of the Empire State Building. That's the park. The park again. For me, it's about the park. What else do they do in New York? The musicals. That's the station. I'm thinking train station. Well, that could be one of your suites, couldn't it? That could be the Central Park suite. What else would I want to see? I'd want to be in Brooklyn, Manhattan. I suppose there's famous places that you've heard of on the movies that you'd want to walk through. Like, I'd want to go to Harlem, but I suppose that's probably not what I'd want to do. Maybe I'd get mugged. Maybe I wouldn't. Maybe Harlem are great. I don't know. Got no idea. That's your breakfast. That's the roof of the suite the roof suite. They're having sweets at the suite. There's someone in the dinner. It's in the bedroom. There's loads of shots of the same thing, essentially. Naughty. You're back. You're naughty. Yeah. Don't know why the connection did that, but we're back. I was just saying, though, that I think this part of it, like all the tea and the poshness and the like the faux formality, that's not for me. I don't want to spend £750 so I can fuck about with a fucking little cup. But I think this is a bit too far, the suite. I don't need to spend £750 and have several rooms. That's not what I'm into. Don't need that. But I do want a bit of luxury in a nice room and a nice environment, and it to be in a nice part of town. Yes, that would be nice. So somewhere in the middle of this and just a more normal hotel is what I'm looking for, I guess. Well, I suppose you can't have that, because if you've got the view over the park, then you're in the posh hotel. The cheaper ones don't have the view, do they? This is the one, isn't it? Special one, look. Big special one. People probably go there because they just wanted to say they've been in that hotel. Architecture. I bet people are into certain parts of the architecture. It's very Art Deco, isn't it? Yeah, I think this is probably the one I want to start. Even though, right, it doesn't actually sing to me in certain ways. Like, I'm not resonating with some of this design choice. It still, like, feels like the posh one, doesn't it? That's the Plaza Hotel. All these rooms look like that as well. They've got lots of rooms that all look... I would have thought they'd had one room that looked like that, but they've got loads of them. Sleeps 4 in a suite. Pulitzer, 5th Avenue. What does that mean? And how do you know if you get to see the... How do you know if you get the view? How can it sleep 4 with 1 king bed? I suppose they must have other beds as well. Look at that. Suite 1, king bed, Edwardian suite. 93 square metres. Sleeps 4. Reserve now, pay later. £2,000 a night. £2,000 a night. You get a robe. I'm taking that. Not leaving that. £2,000 a night. 24-hour room service. Yeah, I bet you have to pay extra. Soundproof rooms. So you can do your murder. Or your sexy time. Soundproof rooms. Yeah. Oh, because so you can get a good night's sleep, isn't it? Without being disturbed. Yeah. Screaming murder sexy time. An ironing board. Who the fuck wants to do any ironing? Could you imagine that? You imagine going on holiday. Oh, I'm glad they've got an ironing board. I can do the fucking ironing. No, you don't have to do that. We're on holiday. You leave the housekeeping chores. Yeah, I brought the fucking... brought all the dishwasher stuff so that we can do our own dishes while we're here as well. Fucking ironing board. Fuck that. Pet friendly. My dog's not going to want to go on the airplane for 8 hours. I mean, you could probably tolerate it, to be fair. Once you had French people abusing you because you were enjoying yourself. My best one was... God. This is where I say I didn't want to do live stream with like just friends kicking around because they could say anything, but I'm saying it now. My best one was we'd been doing the sexy time and we'd finished doing the sexy time. And we're at the bit where, you know, I smoke a cigarette. I wasn't smoking a cigarette in the house. We were just at the bit where we do that. And then from the other side of like the wall, like I could hear somebody applauding. Ironically, they were angry because we've been keeping them awake, but they were applauding. Oh, well done, well done, well. Maybe I felt like I enjoyed the. I know they were a bit angry. They were angry. Like it wasn't polite applause. It was we're angry. We want you to hear that we've been listening to you. But I thought it was quite good. Yeah, actually, round of applause. So I was like, this is brilliant. I didn't say it because she was getting eggy about it, and they were getting eggy. I just was like, this is brilliant. Yeah, you get a phone. You don't need that. You've got a mobile phone. How do you think you're booking? Recycling bin. You need your own recycling bin. Sitting area. Soundproof rooms. Turn down service. I don't know what that means. Views. City. Courtyard. No, don't want that. Or is courtyard the bit with the park? Wardrobe again. They got a free newspaper. £2,000 for the room. Free newspaper. Free. So don't say we never give you anything. It's £2,000 for the room. So like, I want newspapers, I want magazines, I want a fucking reporter from the Times to come and write up my review. Jesus, it's £2,000 for the room. You get a newspaper. Nobody even reads the newspaper these days. Why do you need it? You don't need a newspaper. Newspapers are irrelevant rubbish. But they give it you and they've said £2,000. Stick that on the list of things we give them. Newspaper. I suppose there's some businessy types, aren't there? And they're like, oh, need to get my free newspaper. This is how you make it big in business, by not paying for your own newspaper. Yeah, but it's £2,000 for the room. So fucking shut up. A desk. Have sex on that. Daily housekeeping. You'll need that because of all the sex that we had. Connecting rooms available. What does that mean? You can buy another room for £2,000 and you connect them up so you've got 2 big rooms and you can have sex with all sorts of people then. I would rather my room was not connected to anyone else. Thank you for £2,000. Fully refundable, you'd hope so. £2,000. breakfast, £100 extra. That's fucking ridiculous, isn't it? That's no wonder they're making the money. How can you possibly charge £100 for breakfast? What are you serving me? What am I having? £100. Caviar on up a quail's bum with the egg poked up back up it. Caviar up a quail's bum with an egg and a fucking gold hat on the little chicken. What you want about £100 for breakfast? You want cornflakes and a bit of toast, maybe some coffee. Can I have coffee? I don't feel that. Like, no one does, do they, in the morning? No one really. Depends how much sex you've been having the night before, I suppose. But what did you say there, you naughty? You can't say that's too rude. We allow anything, like, up to this point, I keep allowing things like, all the words are allowed. You're allowed to say fuck, but you're not. This is too rude. And there's a limit because, you know, I'm on the internet and I look good talking about these lovely rooms. But in reality, you know, I'm going to discourage. I'm not going to slide into people's DMs from people I've just met online while I'm streaming. Like, we can talk and get to know people, and from there you might. But initially, like, it would be very wrong of me to use it to solicit this for sexual attention. So, probably going to just, yeah, probably just going to. But it's all right. I don't mind. Thanks. But £100 a night, you're not getting any breakfast. You can have the sex, but I'm not paying £100 for breakfast, frankly. The thing is, the breakfast takes it to over £2,000, but no extras. It's still 1,900. So you look at that and you think, well, fuck it, just breakfast. It's 1,900 is £2,000, so why not just press breakfast? But then they're doing you for another 50 on top. It feels well wrong. Like, you go there for your sex, you don't want to get shafted as well. I just think it's well wrong. How are they getting away with this? What are they serving in their breakfasts? Fucking gold-plated Frosties. You get it in a really big bowl. Endless Frosties. Endless Frosties? That's worth £100. Yeah, but how many Frosties can you eat in the morning, really? How many Frosties can you eat? What have you written there now? Right. Yeah, go on. You can have that. I allowed it, but you misspelled it, but it's still all good. Oh no, you've allowed it in. There you go. You spelled it. You can confirm the spelling. That's better. In the bedrooms, you get bed sheets. That's part of the deal. Could you imagine spending £2,000 on a night? So 2 nights, £4,000. 3 nights, we're talking £6,000. I wonder if that's, I bought the suite and then anyone can come and sleep in there. Or is that someone else going in with you? You'll have to pay more money. Or if I bought the suite, as many people as I can fit in there. What's the deal? I don't know the deal. It says it sleeps 4. Does that mean I'm only allowed 4 people in? Or is it me and like as many people as, because I'm paying the money, I've got the key. It's £2,000. That's a lot of money. And that, I'll tell you what, is that a sofa bed there? That looks like a sofa bed there. That's not going to stand up to all the sex, is it? Are some people sleeping on sofa beds? Is that what's happening? Yeah, there's a bigger bed in a room behind there. There's that's the proper bed. Look, that's the one that you can batter around with all the sex. This has got a marble countertop because you're not going to break that. And then that's no good. That's just, don't know what that's for. Extra people. That's for the extra prostitutes to sleep in afterwards. I'm all right. I do all right. You know, I'm reasonable. Quite happy. Not going to go around like, you know, bashing people's heads in, but like, I'm all right. I'm happy. Everyone seems to be reasonably entertained and happy in my sex life over the years. Like, you know, everyone's got their own, like, I imagine everyone feels insecure at some points. You know, everyone has their own, like, you know, like, oh, I hope this goes well. I hope they're enjoying themselves. But overall, I think everyone has. Well, no, there's probably been a couple of people who have not enjoyed themselves at all. And then, particularly, I'm thinking of one person who was sick. But, like, that was just by the by. That was because she was sick. Like, I didn't make her sick. She just was sick. So I don't think she had much fun. But then we'd stop doing sex after that because she was sick. So like, you know, you're asking me all these sex questions now. Jesus. I don't want to answer all sex questions. I brought it up, didn't I? I have brought it up. I've mentioned sexy time in it, but I don't know how many sexy questions I want to answer on the old internet. Over the years, I've been very open-minded, and I've decided that everyone's worth getting to know, and it's something. There's a je ne sais quoi about whether you really want to sleep with people. I think that some people can be, have the right, on paper, the right attributes in terms of like, oh, I fancy this sort of person or whatever. But if you don't click with them and don't have a bit of a rrr, then you're not going to want to sleep with them. And like, if someone can be like pretty or attractive, but not like kind of cold and clammy and not like, like then there's something else other than just how people look. So, or the one I made sit on the floor. Nigel remembers the stories. So yeah, to sleep, chance to dream. Once upon a time, what happened was, and I'll say this one quickly, Nigel. Once upon a time, I was with a girl. We got back to my place. We played Monopoly. Things were going well. She'd come round for a bit of a game of Monopoly. We'd had the glass of wine, watched the telly, a bit of Monopoly. Things were going well. And she said, listen, I've got a little bit of a proclivity when it comes to the bedroom. I like to be dominated. I like to be treated. I like to be dominated. I want someone to be like, a bit of the old 50 Shades of. I'd like to be, a bit of a proclivity. So I said, fair enough, absolutely fine. Sat her down in the corner, as Nigel says. Sat her down in the corner, put a book on her head, said, "You stay there looking at the corner. You've been naughty." And then I went downstairs and I had a smoke downstairs. Watched a bit of telly, can of beer. I assume she really enjoyed it. She likes to be dominated. So that was particularly domineering of me to make her sit in the corner with a book on her head. So I assume she really enjoyed it. I had a good time too. I got to watch Match of the Day. So, anticlimax. I mean, we did the sex afterwards. After I'd gone up afterwards, I did the sex afterwards. Yeah, we did all that. But I just thought it was a good move. I thought no one's ever done that for her before. As soon as they find out she likes to dominate, they're all just like, oh, bend over then, I'll put one up you. I mean, that's boring. She's done that. Been sat in the corner with a book on your head? Not often, no. So, but she enjoyed that. And I got to go and watch Match of the Day. So, free cots, infant beds. You get free cots and infant beds. That's a bonus, isn't it, if you've got children? They provide bedding for them. Hypoallergenic bedding, that's even more special. What you really want is not hypoallergenic, but stain-proof, waterproof bedding. Premium bedding, like special bedding, yeah? You don't need a cot. For this money, you're not taking your kids, are you? No one's going with their kids to a hotel like this, are they? With like babies and messing about, prams and buggies. You're not. No. Not for £2,000 a night. Yeah, if you've got babies and stuff, unless you're like earning stupid money, you're not pissing the money up the wall on a stupid hotel, are you? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you're earning loads of money and you can afford it, but you think you want to, save that money for spending on the children rather than sleeping in a fucking like marble bed. Anyway, you get premium bedding as well. You get rollaway extra beds. There's a surcharge. No way. There's a surcharge. No way. You have to pay extra to use the extra beds. Fuck that, mate. You'll find them used and you're not getting any money out of me on top of the £2,000 I'm already spending. Separate bedroom. Within your bedroom. Like, that is beyond me now. Like, in the UK, when you get a hotel room, normally, you go in the hotel and you've got your bed and your little desk and a kettle, and sometimes you get a telly. And, like, that's it. You're in a room with a bed. That's your room. Like, you've got a separate bathroom. Separate bedroom entirely. What? So you're getting 2 rooms, then? It doesn't make any sense. Who's spending £2,000? You can't be in 2 rooms at once. One of you's in one room, one's in the other. Oh, having a great time. No, you're both in the same room doing the sexy time, aren't you? That's what's happening. So, you know, I love this view of New York. You carry on looking at that. I've got a view of my own. Oh, did you get to see a lot of New York? Well, I saw up someone's backside. I mean, our room only had views of the alleyways, and I spent all night looking up the backside. Anyway, look, the thing is, you'd be a separate bedroom. Why would you want a separate bedroom in your Wi-Fi? Get this, Wi-Fi surcharge. Fuck it then, I won't need the Wi-Fi. Won't need the Wi-Fi. Thanks if you're going to charge me extra on top of the £2,000. The newspaper was free. The Wi-Fi costs extra. Fuck off, man. That's skanky. We don't need to watch porn during the sexy time. Way. Two little old armchairs like that. This one's not for me now, I think. Now that I've seen you get all those frivolous extra costs, I'm not down with this. They feel like they're ripping me off. I want to go somewhere else now. You might also like, I might also like the Ritz-Carlton. I might. I've got expensive tastes. Obviously, I tell you what, like imagine I won the lottery tomorrow, yeah? £1 million in the bank. Cha-ching, easy life. Let's go to the Ritz-Carlton. Doesn't matter, loads of money. I'd still feel bad that I'm spending what is a lot of money on something that I'm not getting a lot of use out of. Like, but not stingy, but you know, I'd still think it'd be a lot, wouldn't it? A grand. These are just rooms now. They're not even suites. They're just rooms for £1,000. This is what I'm talking about as well. This is what you normally see in a hotel. You walk in, there's a bed, and it's a bit pokey. So that's what you expect. Oh, the dog's still outside. Shit. Hang on. Oosh. Non-smoking though, so that's a problem. Deluxe high floor. Got a room with a view of the city. That's not too bad. It's not the exact view I wanted, but it's not too bad. Oh, your doggy's 14, getting old for a dog. I've had a few now. Yeah. I love dogs. Looking out across the city, that's not so bad. But this is more like you expect a room to be, isn't it? It's more like your Travelodge. It's a bed. It's got a wardrobe that you're not going to use. It's got a table that you're not going to use. Maybe for having the sex by the window. Use the chair and that's it. But, you know, a trouser press or some shit. New York view. This is probably more like it. Except, it's still £1,000, mate. Fuck, 1,500. You get all the same stuff. This time you get shampoo and slippers, so even better. Bed sheets. Why are they all advertising bed sheets? Is there something I'm missing here? In America, do you have hotels with no bed sheets? Is it common to go no sheets? Coffee tea maker. And it's all the same sort of stuff. Free Wi-Fi, so you're getting more for your money, but the room's smaller. I expect everywhere is cheap. Nowhere is cheap in America. I just like looking at the nice places and dreaming. Right, look at this one, Executive Liberty Suite. Suite now, Executive Liberty. This is where Donald Trump stays. No, he doesn't. He stays in his own hotel, doesn't he? This is Executive Liberty. It's quite nice, actually. It's not as big as the others in the plaza. You actually do seem to get more for your money in the plaza, even though you think you're getting rob-dogged. But sun setting over New York, and you've got that view, and you're in your little room, and you're allowed to smoke, and That's not so bad. It's not so bad at all, is it? I could live with that. It's even more. It's $3.5 grand. Am I tripping? Why is this one more expensive than the other one where you get all the tables and the rooms? We're stopping in the other one now. Where else might I like? Manhattan. What did you say? You said... Brooklyn. I don't know any. This one's $279 for a night. What's going on here? Hang on. I just want to see now, because it just came up. I want to see £200 for a night. See, what's so different? You don't get the view, do you? That's what you're paying for, I suppose. Like, but that room looks very similar to the room I just looked at. Little table, little bed. You haven't got the... It's not the same, is it? You haven't got the big view. You haven't got the nice... You know, it's not quite as snazzy. That's more snazzy, but it's £700. We're getting more snazzy as we go down the presidential suite now. Now you're talking rooms again, aren't you? Like you can all play Jenga. I can't read out your chats. Can't read out your chats. No, that's the whole point, though, isn't it? Being able to look out across the park and be like naked, having sex in the window out across the park. That's the point. You know, I alluded to it gently in the episode, but if you do get lucky and you're out there with someone, of course, if I was there on my own, I'd just be drinking the coffee and smoking the reefer. But like, you know, yeah, that's the whole point, isn't it? Like, you want that experience of like the whole holiday experience. I imagine, like, isn't that the whole point of like the best holidays? You go there like, you know, with a special someone and you have a bit of fun. Like, I imagine. That looks nice, the marble bathroom. I'm sure I could slip and bang my head in that. Oh, this is great, we're having a great time. Oh, I've slipped and banged my head. I told you not to try and bend that way. I wanted to see if I could get over the... This one's got a telly in a bit of the wall, though. They've got a telly in the wall. I haven't seen that before. Telly in the wall. £900 a night. Now, you see, the thing is now, right? Now that we've looked about, £1 grand a night seems like a lot of money. But this sleeps 3 people, so you can take your full crew. Me and the 2 people I'm having sex with. 3. Like 3, not 4 like the other one. But what I'm saying is, like, let's say you go on holiday with some friends, like as a small group, and you split the cost of having of this. Like, being a bit more serious now, not just like, you know, like, not just me having loads of sex in every room with like a mythical whatever, but like you could actually legit say it's £300 a night, more likely when you divide it. And you get all this, and you're in the middle of New York and stuff. That seems like a reasonable offer these days now, compared to the others. For the other one was like 2,000, 3,000. You're getting all that stuff. This is, and I know it seems ridiculous now. We've gone from £150 to £900 a night, but it's actually £300 a night per person. So it's on the high end of the expense, but what you get is so much more, isn't it? Like, you haven't got your pokey room experience now. Now you've got your own party pad. Yeah, it's modern, much more modern than that other one that looked like you're living in the fucking Great Gatsby times. Much more modern. I'm not going to use the telly much unless it's got the Pornhub on it or something. No, but like you can make your breakfast there yourself. You don't have to spend £100 for breakfast. Like, I imagine you'd have a really good holiday in New York with a couple of mates. Like, if you weren't going just for the sex break, if you were going with a couple of mates and you'd booked this as like a, you know, someone gets the big room, someone gets the sofa, someone gets whatever else, I think, other sofa maybe. But that seems legit banging, doesn't it? Nigel likes the decor, and to sleep chance to dream says they would ride me like a rodeo. So, different things in chat there. Laughing, tittering like a schoolgirl. Titter ye not, as Frankie Howard would say. Presidential suite, looking nice. So there's an option. Put that on the list. The Roxy. Hang on. Is the Roxy the sex one? No. I thought one of them might be like, you know, specifically. When I saw the Roxy, then I thought, oh, this is specifically probably like the sex one, isn't it? Like with a name like the Roxy. But it's not really. Just a bit of a disappointment. Just standard rooms, look. This one's got the wallpaper out of The Shining, so that's particularly scary. But very modern. This is like the one where we went to when I said we upgraded in Stockholm. It was like this. You know, quite nice, big window, clean, neat, tidy, not a problem. Very nice. £350 a night though, you see. So for that same money, you can have a full suite if you club up with your mates. So you don't like this one. It's got a fridge. Like, what are you doing with a fridge? Like, I wouldn't be able to shower in that. And it would put me off the sex. Confusing. Feel very hemmed in. They're really making a feature of it though. Totally different vibe going on there, isn't it? At the Roxy. It's weird, isn't it? The Roxy's got its own sort of strange vibe. I just realised every one of these I'm doing is a new window. Problematic, but the St. Regis. But again, I'm quite liking this. Tell you for why. Or not. Why would you put that in there? That's scary. Man coming in your room with a thing. I quite liking this for being a bit more clean and modern. I'm going to move all this time, and I could have moved the screen a bit down. Maybe should I have moved the screen a bit down? Where's my screen? Just a bit down. You can get a bit more of it in there. All this time, I should have moved. The area is scary. Don't like that. So, but this is a bit clean, modern, spacious. And if I'm talking about a suite, that says room. It's not showing me enough pictures. But if I'm talking about a suite for a grand for a suite, that's what we're on about now these days. Maybe it's just big room for a grand. That's not up to scratch then, is it? Just big room for a grand. Show me the suites. Here we go. 2.5. Oh, we're up. Getting expensive. And it's starting to look like somewhere that your nan might have stayed. So, imagine that. Imagine you run a hotel and everything's nice and everything's cool. And then like 20 years go by and like fashion changes a bit. And now you look a bit drab. And you've got to change all of the fucking rooms and all of the wallpaper and everything. Nightmare. That's why they're charging £2,000 for the rooms. Fucking, what's wrong with them? £5,000 this is. What are you doing in there for £5,000? Is it padded walls? Can you doing the sex on the walls now? Are we like what? £5,000. £5,000. £5,000. Right, I'll tell you what I need to find out now. Now what I want to do is, I stayed in this place in Brighton once. I don't know if I'll be able to find it exactly, but probably might be. Let me just see if I can Google it up. How am I going to... I'm just going to manage settings, save and exit. It might say it, and it was something like this. You know, it had themed rooms. I stayed in a place with like themed rooms. I was going to find the exact one and show the exact themed room, but it doesn't really matter, does it? They had themed rooms, and like, you know, like one was like the Wild West room, and one was like the, you know, Marilyn Monroe room or whatever, and it was clearly a sex hotel. Like clearly, because it had all like, you know, fantasy rooms. That was the phrase, I think. That's it. That was it. Pelle Rocco. That was it. That was it. going to bring it up on the old internet. Just chuff the internet. TripAdvisor it, maybe. I don't need to see all that. Just let's have a look at the photos. So it's a little hotel, like a little... get off with your... How'd you get your photos in big? There you go. Big photos. Big old photos. And I was like, I wanted to stay there because, like, you've got all these different... Look. They themed the rooms up. So that's their bar area. There was something going on in there, but I didn't stay down there. Themed rooms. I wonder if the room that I stayed in is still... They've probably changed the rooms these days. They probably change them around all the time. But, yeah, it was definitely, for me... Like, I was just looking for a cheap B&B, and then this one came up on the... I think it was on the... What do you call it? You know, the... voucher deal or something like that. You saw that in Berlin. There was a coffin in an S&M room as well. But yeah, the concept was clearly, you know, they'd done the rooms out to be exotic in different ways, and then like you turned up, and I don't think I specified my room. I think it was just a cheap deal, so I turned up and just got a weird room. I don't think I'm seeing a picture of it here either. I think they must have changed it since I was in. But I did think this is supposed to be a sex hotel, isn't it? Ooh. Oh, you know, that's good. So now what I want to do is I want to find out if I can Google up a sex hotel. Not for... Maybe I shouldn't put this in my Google search. The best hotels for sex in London. Is this a bad choice? It's just like an article. The old Hoxton... The Hoxton Holborn, you can book it for daytime. Mama Shelter. You can buy a vibrator. Apparently. I mean, there's nothing there that says screams sex to me. Cadogan Gardens. That's decadent, maybe, but it looks like kind of old themed. What's going on now? Shangri-La. That sounds right. They're not doing a good job here of showing me sex hotels. Look, that's a bath. It's not even anything with any attachments. The worst thing about these is you'd think people probably turned up there to have the sex, so you don't know how clean the room is. But this is the Sun, terrible rag that it is. Sex-themed hotels in Great Britain. Way. Now that's more like it. That's what I'm talking about. Could you imagine, right? Could you imagine, though, like, going on a little holiday, yeah? And being like, oh, I'll tell you what, I've booked us in somewhere, but it's a surprise. So when we get there, we're going to this lovely hotel. We're going to London for a day out, and I booked us in somewhere for a surprise that evening. I'm not going to tell you where. Come, we go to the hotel, yeah? Like, you've got your little... You don't have a full suitcase, do you? You've only got one of those little wheelie trolleys, yeah? And I'm like, I'll wheel the trolleys. Like, I do the thing though. Wait, get to the room. I'll do the thing. And then we go in and get in, and I put the trolleys down and you go, ready, surprise. Got the cross there for the strap you to the... Use the... Red themed. Red. Anyway, get your kecks off. Red themed. This is like taking me to a sex dungeon. What's going on? what you want is some romance and some luxury, but you don't want to go full leather sex dungeon. This is too far. It doesn't look comfortable in any way. There's nowhere. I don't know if what that is there, but is that somewhere to sit, or is that something to be strapped onto? I don't know. Is it a chaise lounge, or I feel like if I sit down, so it might go clamp on me, and then I'm in trouble. So I don't know about that. I don't know what this part is. There's some of it I don't want to know. That, for example. Although, depends. I'm allowing all your chat. Fuck it. The thought of other people using it, yeah, is a bit. Ooh, but if they give it a good clean, and look, I'll tell you what's interesting here as well. You've got these other like spaces back here. Like there's mirrors, and it looks like if you close them up, then you're enclosed in a mirror box or something. That would be interesting. I've never had sex in a mirror box. Maybe you can invite a few people. Like it looks like this looks like a more communal space. Oh, it is it? At least I think it is. I think it is. Stirrups, something like that. You put your legs up. Better than a bed, a B&B dedicated to BDSM. It says in the news, which I'm reading, so don't blame me. I think BDSM can get you binned off Twitch, actually. I think BDSM is a dangerous area for Twitch, so I actually think it is. But I think we're okay because I'm just looking at furniture. Like these are actually hotels that exist, so I think I'm okay because I'm just looking at furniture. But I do know that other people have been binned off for other close to BDSM things on Twitch. If we get binned off Twitch, it's all right. It's just we get binned off Twitch for a bit. So that's got the mask as well. It comes like there's the mask. You're going to want to bring your own mask. You're going to want to bring your own ball mask thing. All things. What's that? Bring your own smoking pipe. I think you're going to want to bring your own smoking pipe. Too obvious, isn't it? I mean, this is really functional, I think. Like I'll tell you what they haven't done. They haven't gone to town on the shower head. Or maybe they have. Maybe that's like a super high power jet. But they've gone for handcuffs, an enema kit that you can screw. I imagine you can screw that on. And but I thought that, it's not glamorous really. It's just a white tile bathroom with a fucking enema kit strapped onto the shower head. Like it feels a bit like functional rather than like you want a bit of luxury in the. I do anyway. I want a bit of luxury and comfort. I don't necessarily want. I don't know what you'd say about this. You can book it, hire it for your function, hire it for a function. That's getting there. That's more like it. Look, now we're getting there. A bit more like it. A bed, at least, some comfort, but nothing too special there. That's a bed and some comfort. Hot tub. Now, yes. Yeah. Hot tub. Is that all right? What's going on here? I don't see the sex aspect of this. It's just a room. Oh, I see. The bed's got. It's like you can put your head in the. You can get locked into the bed. Look, you can actually. This part you can actually get your head locked into the bed. Pole dancing room. You think you'd be allowed to, like when they're doing the pole dancing, you're not allowed to touch. You wouldn't want that. It's a bit red light Amsterdam, isn't it? Yeah, this has gone a bit, down market, hasn't it? That's not what I was looking for. So I suppose what you have to do is just book an expensive hotel and just be like, we'll turn it into a sex hotel through us doing the sex rather than it being sex themed.